What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're all very excited about Premium Booster 02. I think we can agree on that. We're all very excited about Premium Booster 02. Premium Booster 02 is looking pretty sweet. And we talked a lot about Premium Booster 02, and we don't actually have very long to wait until Premium Booster 02 comes out. Premium Booster 02 is actually releasing next week. Yeah, it's out on October the 3rd. It's out next Friday. Yay! I wasn't going to stop saying Premium Booster 02 in its entirety because it's starting to get a bit weird. But the point is, it's coming out next Friday, and the lovely folks at Bandai have given us really nice in-person photographs of all 30 of the Gold Dawn. So this seems like something we should have a look at. We're going to look at all 30 of the Gold Dawn, nice high-quality pictures with the leaders they represent. So let's get rolling with Gear 5 Luffy. Love this. Of course, Gear 5 Luffy, not the main Luffy around right now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but this, the last Gear 5 Luffy we had, this is clearly trying to be based on the 09 Gear 5 Luffy, and right now, that's not actually proven to be the best Luffy. I'm sorry, but it's still called on for a Luffy fan. We've also got Shanks and Shanks from OP09. This, it's a deck that really comes and goes. It's been the best deck in the format. Right now, arguably not the best deck in the format. Still an extremely good deck. One that sees play and success. So, yeah, we like this. Moving on from Luffy and Shanks, we've got ourselves some more of the Four Emperors, like Marshall D. Teach. This is one of my least favourite Gold Dawn cards. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a huge fan of Marshall D. Teach generally, if I'm honest with you. But there's something about this Dawn which is just a bit, it's fine. It's not great. And then we got the Buggy. Buggy is extremely cool. We like Buggy. And yeah, but Buggy gets her own Dawn. Who's not excited about that? By the way, there's things like, I believe, like the little thing on the nose here. The Gold Dawn in this set has detailing that isn't on the regular or the foil Dawn. So do keep an eye out for that. Elsewhere, we got ourselves a Jinbei Dawn. And look, Jinbei has not proven to be a particularly good leader up till now, I'm sorry. But you cannot tell me there is not a lot of potential for Jinbei, and that is one that I'm keeping in my back pocket. This is cool Dawn if you're a Jinbei fan. We then got Yamato, and Yamato's been pushed. Bearing in mind, Yamato's an OP06 leader. Yamato came out ages ago. Yamato has been pushed a lot lately, and now we've got lovely Yamato Dawn to go along with it. Carrot is another leader I absolutely adore, and yes, that detailing over the moon is only on the gold one. This is one of those Dawn I'm really hoping ends up being super cheap, because I really like Carrot, and I think there is potential for a Carrot deck in the future. I hope this ends up being awesome. We've also got ourselves Charlotte Puddin', and just the design of this with Sanji in the eye is just... It's another one of those where if you've read the manga, watched the anime, you're going to get a lot out of this image. You're going to look at it and go like, oh yeah, no, that's really cool. Once again, fan service for One Piece generally in the TCG is alive and strong. Smoker is another one, which I like Smoker generally. This Dawn is just awesome. And the Smoker leader has proven to be pretty good since it came around in OP10. So maybe this is one a bunch of people are going to be picking up because Smoker's pretty playable. We've also got ourselves Kobe, another leader with potential, which, you'll see it popping up here and there. It's won some flagships over in Japan and all that. But it's not yet. I don't think it's lived up to the potential it could have had. Now, Rob Lucci gets a Dawn, and Lucci's super interesting because it's a deck which kind of goes around in circles as sometimes it's alright, and then other times it pops up as just the best deck in the entire game. It just kind of randomly pops up and wins stuff. It's because black has always been a very powerful colour. So, Rob Lucci, it's a kind of deck that doesn't tend to get banned in those don't use the good leader tournaments. And yet, keeps coming around and winning a whole bunch of stuff at times anyway. So, I expect this one to be moderately popular. just because Rob Lucci as a whole is a pretty popular deck. Plus, it took ages for us to get a Rob Lucci in Devil Fruit form. I'm glad that we did. We've also got ourselves Hannibal. This is one of the more awkward ones. When these first were revealed in Japan and I was trying to figure out which the Don were for, there was some like the Rob Lucci that was super easy. And then there's others like this Hannibal, which I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that this is not the easiest one to recognise. We're essentially looking at the headgear for Hannibal here. Not a good leader, never seen any play, but you never know, ladies and gentlemen, a man can dream. Now we've got Boa Hancock, and Boa Hancock, super popular leader, super popular character. Another deck that's had time where it's been just like proper job top tier, just never lasted, which is a little bit sad. So maybe Boa Hancock comes back around. Maybe Boa Hancock's time is over. Either way, this is one I've got my eye on because this one could be cool. And then we got Monkey the Dragon, who, I mean, the best way to put it with Monkey the Dragon is I'm willing to bet there's people out there that literally forgot Dragon has a leader card. That is how little play and success Dragon has seen. I think there's people who have literally forgotten Dragon's got a leader card. You will not have forgotten about Jewelry Bonnie. Came around in the same set, OP07, but has been consistently one of the best leaders pretty much since release. Right now, over on Limitless, is trending as the best leader in the OP12 format. Only a smidge above Blue Purple Luffy, but still above Blue Purple Luffy. This is a top tier leader, and the Don's actually a really fun design. So, yeah. This is one of the ones that's going to be more popular. Although I'm recording this at not even 10 in the morning, and now I want pizza, so cheers for that. Marco is another leader that I have. There's a lot of leaders that don't see a huge amount of play that I've got a lot of love for. Marco is one of them. Maybe it's because I pulled the full art. Don't know. But I do like Marco as a leader. I think there's a lot of potential. Although I will say that the Marco Don here, not my favourite. Now, Caesar Clown gets a Don card. This is another alternate art that I pulled from my box. I bought one box of OP10. I pulled the Caesar Clown leader. I don't like it. No one likes it. This is... I'm not sure if one of the worst leaders we've ever had is too harsh, but it's definitely a bottom tier leader. This has seen like no play and success. My reading of One Piece at the moment, I'm literally in the Punk Hazard arc at the moment. Caesar Clown is the main antagonist of my current One Piece reading. But yeah, this is not a good leader. But hey, if you love Caesar Clown, good news. You've got some Don. You know who else gets a Don? Foxy. Foxy gets a Don. Foxy was one of the more interesting cards to get a leader. And you know, OP7 is early-ish. Foxy got a leader in OP7. Before, you know, we don't have Frankie or Brooke as leaders yet, but we got Foxy like 5 main sets ago. Love it. And now we have a Foxy Don. So if you're hyped about Foxy, good news. Now, Vegapunk is a deck which, again, I am a huge fan of. This one got second at the Bologna Regional I casted recently. This is a leader with huge potential. Awkward, only starts with 2 life, but potentially incredibly strong, has some success. And actually, while we're here, can I mention Lim? I'm sorry. Lim is another leader that I have a huge soft spot for. I'm playing One Piece Odyssey. It's a fun game. Lim's really cool. Man, there's a lot of leaders I like that don't see that much play and success. Lim, however, is one of the better ones. Lim is another one of those leaders which is rarely right at the top of the metagame, but cycles back around fairly often as a good playable leader. As does Calgara. Now, Calgara, the Don here, it's got the Mont Blanc Nord and Calgara sharing a drink. That little etching is only on the gold. As I keep telling you, there's little details on the gold that aren't on the normal. And it's one of the absolute coolest gold Don around. And Calgara, we had a couple doing well in Bologna. This is another leader that some people will not let go, and I don't blame them. Kyros also is a character that has a leader card. It's not good. EB-01 was well disappointing for leader cards, but the fact remains that we've just not... This Kyros has seen like no play and success. Quite like the Don, no real play. Now, another leader I have huge love for is Shirahoshi. We talked about Shirahoshi recently. I like Shirahoshi, and I can't make up my mind about this Don card. On the one hand, like it. On the other hand, it's just got Shirahoshi's face really big, and it feels like a lot of the Gold Don have done a better job at being a bit more subtle than that. So I don't know. I'll let you guys figure it out. Now, Sugar is another one of those which, yeah, a lot of potential, seemed like a cool leader, but has seen very little play and success. But look, we got a bunch of bears with swords on the Don, so I don't know. Maybe that's something we can get excited about. Like a second Luffy Don. Yeah, there's a 4 Luffy Don in here as well. I'm assuming this is going with the OP11 Luffy leader, which, to be fair, is a far better Luffy, which is arguably the best leader in the game. They certainly had to ban a couple of cards being played with it. It's that gosh darn good. We've got Nami Don, because let's face it, we had to have Nami at some point. And to be fair, the Nami leader in OB11 has proven to be a very good leader. It sees play, it sees success. And we got Nami Don with Zeus on. That seems fun to me. While we're with Straw Hats, and I'm going to be honest with you, the rest of them are all Straw Hats, we've got Sanji, the only leader that we got in Premium Booster 01, but a very good leader that gives rushes, one that's always really interested me, and now we've got a delicious plate of food to go with it. Or maybe you prefer the Nico Robin Don. Not a leader that has seen that much play, but I do kind of love how there's multiple arms on here, and you've got Nico Robin's hat. It's quite nice. I think people are going to love it. We've got Usopp Don, but specifically, we're talking about the OP10 style of Usopp here. This was supposed to be one of the best leaders in the game. It certainly saw a lot of play and success in Japan, less so over here, and it's honestly not my favourite Don from the set, but if you're an Usopp fan, you're going to love it. You know what is one of the cooler Don in the set? The last one, number 30, not that they're in any real kind of order, Tony Chopper. I adore this. It's another one of those where if you are familiar with the background of Chopper, if you've read the manga, watched the anime, etc., this is going to be one of those scenes where you're like, okay, that's amazing. I love this. Real nod in a way that I appreciate. And there we go. That's it. There's your 30 gold Don. I've shown them all. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these. Tell me which is your favourite. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.